All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and whatever else might be lurking out there in the surrealism. I am all star quarterback of the 49ers, Joe Montana. Joining me tonight, we have Johnny Parquette. And this is a face we haven't seen in a minute or two. Like, what is going on? What is your name again? I forgot. Like, do you hate
Oh,
IKEA? Like,
yeah, no, I hate IKEA. It's terrifying. But you can just call me Joe Montagna.
Joe what was
Good
that? It was
little
the Water
Waterboy
Boy, right?
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good little Waterboy reference for everybody.
How
I
about
love
them
it.
apples?
How about them apples?
But since you missed last night, man, me and Joe were thinking it was just fair that we kind of take a little bit at the beginning and we let you do your guilty pleasures, whatever pops into mind. And yeah, since we're doing a movie episode and I'm going to keep with the theme of films, what's your guilty pleasure when it comes to comic books, Goose?
Uh, Man, comic books will probably like it's. I don't even feel guilty about it, but probably the Nancy Drew books. I
Hmm.
got them for Dakota, and I ended up loving them a whole lot. But it's oh God, what's
Kelly
her name?
Thompson does it, right?
Kelly
Kelly, yeah.
Thompson does it,
Yeah.
and it's
You got
so good.
nothing to be guilty about there. I agree with you. Like, pick something else. Pick something worse.
Oh,
Come on, man. That's a
Well, I was
that,
thinking,
oh,
see,
okay. Well,
I was thinking Sabrina the Witch. That was pretty good too. Like that's what I was gonna put. Then I'm like, yeah, but everyone likes that too. So
yeah, it's
it's,
good. I don't care if it was written for girls. I mean, that comic
yeah.
book fucking rocks.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess if we had to go guilty pleasure, man, it's hard to think of a comic book that I'm guilty about. I read a bunch of really good shit. I mean, off the top of my head, um, yeah, probably those probably the Scout like kids books or Dogman, the guy who did Captain Underpants. He does
Hmm.
this children's series called Dogman, and I don't know if I feel guilty about that either because I did buy them for Orion, but I enjoy them a whole lot. Yeah, so that one, and then I don't know, man. It's hard to pick a comic book that I feel guilty about
Yeah.
reading,
Hmm.
but
Fair
That's all
enough.
right. We had a
but
hard time too, man.
I
but if we're
didn't.
going with music, music or movies, music would definitely have to be Gwen Stefani's 2004 album, or Britney Spears' "Oops, I Did It Again." I went and saw her in concert, and stuff. I mean, I can be guilty about those. Those are good, but Gwen Stefani did cool, and I
Yeah,
mean,
but that album was that the Bananas album?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Of course, you liked it, Goose, because you and her are both Bananas.
That's the
hey,
one she did a few tunes with Eve, right?
no, I think that was right before then. I think those might have been
Okay.
Eve's thing because that was "Blow Your
Okay.
Mind." But
Yeah.
oh, who else? Oh, dude, Avril Lavigne. I could get down on some Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, I guess that
Johnny's
one
gonna shoot me
counts.
now.
Are you would you consider yourself a hollaback girl, Goose? Like, I
I
need
don't know. I
to.
think I'd be more of a skater boy.
I said, see you later, boy. All right. Okay. What's your movie, brother?
Oh man, as far as movies go, it's either the Joel Schumacher Batman movies,
Oof.
because everybody says you're not supposed to like those, but I absolutely fucking
Mhm.
love them, and I'll die on that hill. Or the remake of The Italian Job with fucking Marky Mark. I could probably watch that movie all day long. It's either that. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a couple of them, man, that are supposed to be real shitty. Not Another Teen Movie. That
Oh,
one.
that is where when I hear the "That's America's ass" line, I always giggle because I think when I think of Chris Evans's ass, there's a banana sticking out of it 9 times out of 10, thanks to that film, because it's a
Yeah,
banana split, and like that's America's ass, man. It's got a banana hanging out of it. End of story.
but and still, like, I think I feel most guilty about the Joel Schumacher Batman movies because I watched what is it,
Which was the first one he did? Was
Batman
Batman
it the?
Forever. That one's actually
Batman
the better
Forever.
one.
It
Is that
is.
with Kilmer?
Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
and
so
Kilmer's
that one
such a
wasn't bad.
badass
That
Batman.
was all
But
right. Yeah.
I watched Batman and Robin not too long ago, actually the same night that Suicide Squad dropped, I backdoored Suicide Squad with Batman and Robin, and like the cheesy fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger puns in that movie just make my heart melt. I fucking love it. Nice to see you.
Yeah, he's what makes the film iconic for me too. What killed all the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Yeah, killed him, killed the heroes. I mean, I don't want to see, like, you know how people are like they don't want to see anybody else play the Joker after Heath Ledger. I don't want to ever see anybody play Mr. Freeze besides Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, they want to impress me with this Flash movie where they're bringing everybody back. Bring back Arnie as fucking Freeze in Flash. Like, that would be so dope.
Well, the only thing that pisses me off about that movie is they make Bane, this fucking beast of a man, which he is in the comics, but they make him super dumb. But like,
monkey work.
Yeah, as far as like when I think about Bane, I think about how fucking intelligent Bane is. Because even though the Nightfall whole epic is just, it's so convoluted and stupid to me, like Bane really like bested fucking Batman, the greatest detective in the world. He snapped his fucking back in half. And that's really like, that's the only problem that I have with it. And I guess, I don't know, is Trolls 2 a guilty pleasure?
Definitely.
Okay.
No, that's just a good film. Never mind. Like, don't ever feel guilty for watching Troll 2. I love that film, man. Neil Bogmilk, he's eating her, and then they're going to eat me too. Oh my god!
And to think that was Peter Jackson, and like when I think about him, everybody thinks of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, but I like to think about Trolls 2 and Meet the Feebles, and those don't get brought up too much when we talk about Peter Jackson.
What's your favorite song in Meet the Feebles, Goose?
Man, it has been a while since I've seen it, but it was one of those films that used to come on like late at night on like Showtime or Skinamax, and I just remember being a kid and like thinking, wow, this is really fucking weird. I haven't seen it in probably a decade, but it always pops into my head when I think about Peter Jackson.
Oh, it's got really solid show tunes, but yeah, the one that steals the show, in my opinion, is the Sodomy. I prefer the act of sodomy song by the Fox. I think just rips, man.
Yeah, old Peter Jackson was the best Peter Jackson, for sure.
I don't know. I like Lord of the Rings. I liked...
he's a solid filmmaker. King Kong. He did Frighteners. He did...
wait, did he do the Frighteners?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's what
Michael J. Fox.
Yes, and
that was
Busey.
good. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Oh, I meant like, what has he done recently? Like, last time I saw it was like that Lovely Bones movie.
Lovely Bones. That was all right.
That's a long time ago, though. She was like a little girl in that. Still,
I thought he had a hand in the Hobbits.
He
directed all three of them.
Yeah, and those were kick ass. I like those. I'm actually really excited for this fucking Amazon Lord of the Rings series that we're supposed to be getting.
I think you should make a part 4, to follow the Matrix's lead and just like have Frodo wake up and like he remembers Samwise, but like they don't know each other and they got to reconnect, and Sauron's trying to just do a Hobbit version of Matrix Part 4. That'd be so awesome.
What did you guys think about that trailer though? Like,
it sucks. I am not looking forward to that movie.
I hadn't watched it. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched the Spider-Man trailer, and I haven't watched. There's 3 trailers that came out recently. What was the other one? Matrix, Spider-Man. What's the other one? I don't know. I don't remember.
As long as I can remember, in my opinion, there's only been one Matrix movie, and it looks like it's going to stay that way, even with the Part 4 coming out.
It might be good, man. I don't know. I'm excited for it just because like the trailer was nothing but bullet time, and like I don't know. I'm thinking because of the way technology is advanced in the past, like 21 years, 22 years since the first Matrix came out, we're just gonna get some badass bullet time. The story may be convoluted and dumb, but I think we're just gonna get like Neo doing some badass shit. I hate that they don't have Lawrence Fishburne in the movie though. Like.
I'm not. Have you seen some of his more recent films? Like, he's kind of forgotten how to act over the years a little bit.
That's fair. He is probably old as shit. Like he was like 18 or 19 when he did Apocalypse Now, and I always think about him in that role.
His best was probably. You ever see the movie King of New York with
New
Christopher
York.
Walken? Like
Very good movie.
where he
That was
was
a
like
great movie.
he was the little thuggy dude that hung out with Walken. He was so good in
Yeah.
that, man, drinking the root beer all the time. Like that's my
That's a
favorite.
good movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, young Steve Buscemi is a gangster too. That was awesome having Steve Buscemi as part of Walken's gang. I'm like that is how you know you're a gangster when you got Steve Buscemi in your fucking gang.
he's a cold-blooded dude, man. Like he even like not to bring up sad stuff, but he suited up on 9/11 and was down there at the at Ground Zero. Like he's a cold-blooded motherfucker. Like he had been
He was a
acting
legend.
long before then. He's a fireman.
Yeah, he was a New York firefighter before he was an actor for 15 years. Yeah, he's a gangster.
Yeah, mad respect to Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it by looking at him, but yeah, he's probably a fucking hardcore crazy guy because he was a fireman in New York. That's crazy person work in my opinion. You run from fires, not into them, in my for me. But the topic at hand. This is. I can definitely say it's an interesting film. Like you're not going to see too many other things like it. But Goose, why don't you break it down a little bit for people that might be watching?
This is a movie that me and Dakota found late night a couple of years ago, and it is stuck in my head. It is called Nothing Really Happens, and it does kind of follow the title where not much happens in the film. It's very low budget. I think there's only like 6, 7 actors and actresses throughout the whole thing, but it's basically this surreal breakdown of Dave Stemple Jr.'s psyche, I guess you would say, where he is losing his mind and he's having these crazy ass dreams, only to find out that his conspiratorial brother-in-law has been pissing in his subconscious, literally. And it's just one of those movies that, like, if you're not under the influence of something, and I'm not advocating for drugs and alcohol, they've just always worked for me. But if you're not under the influence of something, you might not enjoy it. But it's one of those that I would put in the same realm as like Pink Floyd's The Wall, where you might need a couple of libations or having an earth crisis to really like get into the film. But me and Dakota saw it, and like I said, it just stuck in our minds. And like before, I mean, I'd been mentioning it to y'all for probably a couple of months now, but me and Dakota think about that movie way too fucking often, and it's got some kind of Donnie Darko feels to it, but not as smart. I guess is a good way to put it.
You keep attributing these really dark films to this really lighthearted, goofy movie. You know, Donnie Darko and The Wall. Like, I didn't get that at all from this. But
well, I think it's more of the surrealism of the film that I'm kind of drawing those comparisons, because I mean there's the scene with the poop at the beginning of the movie, and like it cracks me up every fucking time, and then like. There's that scene where the old lady or Carl gets set on fire, and it really like the way she melts reminds me of the monsters from They Live. And I don't know if y'all caught that, but like with the eyes and the face melting off, it just looked like when Roddy Piper would put his glasses on and see the world for how it really was. But it's I'm not gonna lie, kind of it's a super dumb film, but it's one that I think should be experienced, especially for how low budget it is. And I think they did a really good job with what they had. The characters are kind of strange, all of them, and even like especially the fucking Deer Man. The Deer Man is one of the reasons I was comparing it to Donnie Darko with the Bunny Man, but like. The movie itself is a fucking trip, and it was filmed in Houston, and that's why everybody looks like dirty swamp water people, because that's all Houston is filled with is dirty swamp water people.
Jesus. dude.
Well, hey, look,
I
I'll
thought
tell
it
you
was
what,
Oklahoma City, to tell you the truth. It looked exactly like OKC, man. That's what I was thinking. And then I saw it was Houston. I'm like, wow, I didn't know the two towns look, because I've never been there. I've been all over Texas, but I haven't been to that city. So
oh, good. I despise any time I have to go down to that city or it's outliers. Like it's a dirty swamp land filled with snakes and goddamn terrible people. I think Hunter S. Thompson summed it up best when he like went to talk shit about Houston. It is not like they make some good music that comes from Houston, like Texas rap that originated there. Like the Ghetto Boys are from Houston, Fifth Ward, baby. And you know, if Bushwick Bill can get shot in the eye, nobody's safe down in Houston. I don't like that place. And I think that my hatred of Houston adds into the strangeness of this film because it really is a strange town full of crazy people. The last time me and Dakota were there, we saw a man entirely wrapped in tinfoil with a tinfoil hat, like walking down the street screaming at people. And so it's not a good place, man. And I feel like if anybody's gonna have their subconscious pissed in, it's gonna be in Houston. But anyways, what did you fellas think about this ridiculous movie?
you want to go
Speaking
first,
of the
Joe?
Yeah, sure. Speaking of the budget, I looked on IMDb and they didn't really write. Usually, often they put the budget of movies. I suppose they just keep track of the bigger budget movies. But do you have any idea what kind of budget they used on this?
I can look it up, but I would guarantee, especially with the way that they shot it and how there were very few locations that weren't public locations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thinking they probably got away with this film for less than 10 grand.
Yeah, because they do thank a few of the restaurants they shot at the end credits. Yeah. They do give thanks to them for collaborating with them on the movie and stuff.
It looks really good. It's competently made, at least for like a festival type film or like like independent movie channel type movie. So I would guess probably somewhere around 25 at the most, 25,000 $1,000.
Yeah. It couldn't be more than that. Like I said, because the director of it was the guy who played Dave. His wife, the woman who played his wife, did like a lot of the other stuff, and even the music in the film was like from local like Houston musicians. So I'm thinking
the score was sweet. Like that. Well, that's probably one of the best things about the movie was the score.
Who's the friend? Because he's a DJ or some shit like that.
Carl.
Yeah, he's a because when I went and looked up like everyone from the IMDb, I think he works where he makes music. That guy,
if he's the one who did the music, I'd have to go back and look at the credits and stuff. But one thing that got me is how unorthodox the film is. You don't get the opening like credits until 47 minutes into the movie.
Yeah,
exactly one half. Yeah, like halfway through. Exactly,
it's like an intermission.
Did y'all watch all the credits like down to the end?
Yeah, that's actually my favorite scene when he's sitting there with her and she starts making the weird animal noises. Like that, and he couldn't help it. Like it was a real natural laugh that they kept in the film. I thought that was a good outtake to like actually leave into a film.
No. Once the credits get done rolling, Carl is sitting in a chair with the old lady suit on.
Yeah,
and it zooms out and
starts
it's got
clapping.
He's watching them on the TV and he just starts fucking clapping, and like that to me is his character, and even the dude that sat behind him in the fucking in the
cafe,
diner,
the restaurant, the black dude,
the diner that's like peeking behind the newspaper and shit, like just adding to Dave Stimple's just losing his shit, and Carl as conspiratorial and just. What word am I looking for? God, he's just so
neurotic.
Yes, neurotic.
Jones.
Yeah. Oh God. He was on he's joined the CG crowd. He was on a live stream with Von Schleezer, whatever his name is.
Keep names out of it. You're reminding me of Kevin Sorbo right now.
Oh, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not Kevin Sorbo. I don't understand.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping
they actually give thanks to him in the end credits.
Yeah, straight up Kevin Sorbo.
I think it was because they mentioned him and like they didn't want to get sued. But It's so funny to me because like they mention him a couple of different times, and like that reference just always takes me out because like all he's really known for is Hercules, and like
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
he's like telling dude like I started smoking because all this weird stuff's happening. And he's like, a similar thing happened to Kevin Sorbo, and I was like, wait, what? That's probably my favorite thing is the movie has these really really good what the fuck quotes out of nowhere. My favorite one is probably at the end when they're in the car driving back to the house, and the guy's like, you can't just do this, Carl. You can't treat people this way just because we don't understand your way of talking and your weird robo land where men fuck boys or whatever, like doesn't make people wrong because we don't understand that shit. It's just like it's such a good line.
That and the fucking neighbor, the goddamn neighbor makes me
His
so
story
happy.
He's my favorite character, the neighbor.
With-
All the
Oh.
scenes with him are great.
Patchouli. Are you wearing? Is that patchouli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Then
the
he's
fuck
always
out.
like, and it always finishes, with him telling him to go fuck himself. The scene always finishes with him. It's all super friendly and they're chatting. Then it ends with like, "Fuck you, man," and then he walks off.
Well, the weirdest thing about him is he always kept thinking that those were rabbit turds, and I'm like, have you ever
Yeah.
seen rabbit poop? They're little tiny
They
balls.
actually, they either look like little mini, like those bite-sized brownies you can buy. That's what they actually look like. They just put a pile of brownies and put a flag on it.
Right before he tells him the patchouli story, when he says there was a lady out in your yard, and he
Is she
goes,
there right now? There's a lady.
is she still there? I said she was, and then he runs out front and runs back. No, she's not there. And then the poop with the little French flag on it, man, like that always just cracks me
I
the fuck
wish
up.
they
when
would
I see it.
explain why particularly the French flag, because they're in Texas. Wouldn't a Mexican flag make a little more sense canonically?
Well, there's been Six Flags over Texas, which is where the amusement park gets its name from. Is Six? It originated in Arlington, but the Six Flags over Texas, there was like the French owned us at one point, the Spanish, Mexico owned us at one point. I don't know, maybe
Like the
Portugal.
conquistadors just showed up and planted their flags, and were like, "We claim this theme park for France. Vive
Well,
la France!"
you got to think about the Louisiana Purchase, man. Like that was a big chunk of land, and Texas was a part of that.
I don't know. I'm friends with a dude from France, and I was talking with him a while back, and he was saying how there's like fucking shit on the streets and stuff. They don't clean it up. So I don't know if maybe they went and visited France and they saw all the shit everywhere. So they're like, "Fuck, man, we're just gonna put scenes where there's just fucking piles of shit, and we'll put a fucking French flag on it." And
Ask your buddy
I
if
don't
he
know.
ever just sticks a little flag in his poop.
That's what I told him to do. I actually made a joke. That's why when I saw that, it made me laugh because I actually made a joke where like, "What? You're gonna go take shit places and like plant your flag in it because it's a sign of pride, Like, yeah, I shat that."
Yeah. Look how big it is. When I was a little kid, I used to be really proud. I used to go get my mom and show her how big my church. So maybe the French got that thing going on, even though they're like grown ass men. They're so like, man, look at how big that turd is. I'm so proud of that.
I still send pictures of my huge church to my buddy A Bear, and like he gets mad at me every time, and I'm just like, no, dude, it's a record setter, I promise. And he was like, he said something to me the other day when I did it, and I was just like, dude, how are you supposed to know that your homie is healthy if you don't see how good his digestive tract is doing? I'm not even eating fast food. I'm shitting like an Olympian over here. You think a malnourished motherfucker can make these turds? No way. And then he was like, you're right. And then we moved on. But speaking of moving on, we were talking about the neighbor, and I still love when the neighbor pulls him out of the fucking pool. And he says, "You got to buy me new plants. These weren't in here."
Yeah. I'm not going with you, but you better make them nice. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with you, but give me good ones.
Yeah, he was probably the best character. Like, I love the scene where they're just watching the fucking chair burn. He's just telling him about why he hates the smell of patchouli and about his masturbation story and stuff. And
the magazine,
that was a great. I love that scene.
I don't know if it was BDSM or what, but the women, they had massive penises. I was like, what the hell? Like, have you guys ever told a friend that story? I've never told anybody about my choking experiences. So it's kind of weird, and it gets brought up in a couple indie films that I've seen, kind of the surreal ones where the guy's just like starts telling his friend about it. I'm just like, who does that though? Like Ted Cruz, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, come on now, man. Don't make fun of the mentally handicapped. It's not okay. It's funny that I speaking of just weird, surreal conversations, one of my favorite jokes to tell is if I'm in the bathroom and there's several urinals and somebody comes in and stands at the urinal next to me, I always tell them the same thing. Yesterday at work, this guy came into the bathroom and he came to the urinal directly next to me. And then we go to wash our hands. And I turned to him and I said, "Hey, Tim, you know that's a felony, right?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "What you're doing, that's a felony." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Grown ass man holding a little kid's dick." And then he quit talking to me. And so that joke didn't go over well, I don't think. But no,
fuck them if they don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's actually a good one, man.
That is a good one.
It's better than what I used to do. The one that almost got me jumped at the bars was I would be standing at the urinals and I'd look left and I'd look right and say, "Hey, you boys want any of this before I put it up?" Nobody liked that joke. But no, speaking of just weird shit in this movie, there's so many good, like you said, there's so many good like what the fuck lines, and there's so many things that are just like I want to say out of place. Like when you first see him, when he decides to pick up smoking and he's sitting there at the park and he's watching the guy smoke his cigarette and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And then he sees the grandma. But see, what tipped me off with the whole grandma thing, even the first time I watched it, was when he sees the missing woman sign and he calls the number on the sign and fucking Carl answers. And I'd pieced it together then, but then I can see you. No, you can't.
Yeah, behind the
tree.
See, it was the weird little things, like the weird little interactions that really set it apart with me. I liked when he actually went in to buy the cigarettes and the mean little Asian girl, "Ew, you're at a crossroads." And okay, well, but here, and the fucking lighters for free, you fucking asshole. Like,
and she flips him off.
Yeah,
everybody's flipping this guy off. It's like, what the fuck, man? But I think it's because he's so fucking frustratingly neutered that everyone just doesn't show him respect because he just fucking doesn't say anything or stick up for himself ever. So everyone just pisses on him.
The same thing with the woman at the Houston Department of Health.
Yeah.
Sir, you're being an asshole right now.
Well, yeah, maybe you wouldn't have a lock on your door if your commercials actually said what the fuck you sold. You're bad at your job. Like, yeah.
And that brings me back to the commercials, man. That was another one of my favorite parts are all the little VHS tapes. Like the little mini videos that he made for the store and stuff like that. I love those little tape that Carl watches.
We're stripping down our prices, I guess. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. I don't know how to be sexy. Yeah. I liked the girl that played the wife a lot. I thought she was really funny, and the bed scene was hilarious to me with the touch me and like his and goes over. She's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, you just said." She's like, "Well, no, grab that." And he's like, goes to do it. And she flips over and I can't right now. And I was just like, that it was kind of real. Like there are like little subtle moments of brilliance in this film, even though a lot of it is you're just watching and you're like, what the fuck is this thing? Like there are like literally like little brilliant gems all the way through the runtime, which you can't say for a lot of these kind of like weird little festival films like this that you'll catch.
There was one scene that made me think of Goose. One scene in particular that made me think of you, man. I think it's in the second half after the credits where he's brushing his teeth, buck ass naked.
Yeah.
Just the angle and the shot looks like the exact same angle of that shot of you in the shower. It was like exactly. I was like, oh man, this is Goose right there brushing his teeth, man. He almost had the same ass. He's got a similar ass to you, man.
The wife pokes her head out. What the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm. That's probably what it is. Me and him have the same ass. I'm glad you of all people, Joe, can spot my ass.
Minus the tattoo. You could have been a body double for him, man.
An ass double.
Yeah.
Like in Orgasmo, the stunt cock. Y'all seen Orgasmo, right?
No, you're the only person.
Oh, okay. It was before
no,
basketball.
I've seen it. I know.
What?
I have it. I was being Johnny.
I couldn't keep on going if I knew you
Hey,
didn't know what
Goose.
Orgasmo was.
I don't want to sound gay or anything, but I think unicorns are kick-ass. All right, that's all I gotta say.
I don't want to sound gay or nothing. But that dude's got a hot ass.
Yeah, look at Matt Stone, dude. He was so good in that. That's some hot
Oh,
shit. He played such a Canadian with that mullet and that mustache.
Joe, you need a mullet.
Yeah, he doesn't play
No.
hockey. If he played hockey, he'd totally have one.
No.
Dakota's in the room behind me, and I just said, Joe, you need a mullet, and I just heard quietly, no one needs a fucking mullet.
No, I agree with Dakota.
They've come back in
No,
style.
if you play in Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang needs a mullet. There are a couple people that need one. Like Liu Kang,
Yeah,
if he doesn't have a mullet, like he ain't Liu Kang. But
but they've
normal
come back
people,
into. Oh, go ahead.
no, yeah, but normal people do. Yeah, Dakota's right most of the time.
They've come back into style, especially down here in Texas, and like there's whole families with like 3 little barefoot, dirty faced little children and their dad all having fucking mullets, running barefoot to the goddamn Walmart, just tearing shit off the shelves. And like I look at them and I just go, "Oh, you're setting them up for failure, man. Those kids are gonna get addicted to meth." But then again, most of the kids around here are because it's little town East Texas.
I don't know. They could end up NASCAR drivers, you know. Like,
I'm not porn stupid enough to be in NASCAR.
but
But
one
back
of
to
the
the
few
film.
things about the movie I didn't like though was the guy that worked for him. I thought that they kind of made him a little too stupid, and I didn't like too many of the scenes with him, to tell you the truth.
What about the Caddyshack 3 thing?
Yeah, the Caddyshack 3 was hilarious, and good on them for making that, because that was actually kind of clever. But I don't know. I hate to say it, but I felt that the character was, and his characterization might be a little racist. The Latino guy being really stupid. But
My truck is broken.
yeah, well, that I like that part. Okay, the very first one where he's talking about taking the windows to get tinted, and he's like, "No, you take the truck in." And yeah, but you said your truck was broke down. How are you gonna get it there to get the fucking windows tinted? Oh, and he doesn't even answer him. Just oh. I guess.
Yeah, he was an odd character. Like he's probably my least favorite in the movie, just because like all the scenes with him just were really like a lot of the scenes in the movie are awkward, but that one, like the ones with him particularly, I think he hit the nail on the head when you said they kind of dumbed him down way too much. He's like a stunted Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, because everybody was already weird enough in the film, so they didn't have to make them stupid on top of that. You know what I mean? But
it's Houston. I don't know.
I've never been there, so like he could be spot on. I don't know.
Possibly. There's when he tells him to try, can you break it? And he's just pulling down on the fucking chain in the lock. The combination's on the back.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about this film is you can watch it free on a service called Tubi, and it actually adds to the experience. Like Joe didn't get it like I did, but I got these non-hormonal birth control ads with this girl like, "Welcome to my vagina," like every break, and I don't know, it kind of added to the movie. You know what I mean? So like,
You
honestly,
got some other commercials too, didn't you?
yeah, there's some boner pill ones for some reason too, which. No, I don't need. Like I told you, like I can't take them. It'll give me a heart attack.
See, I got mattress, and what was the other one? I watched something else today on Tubby, and they had some insurance company thing. So, and they had an French ad for Special Olympics. So I think it goes by region, and you know. Algorithms, right? It depends what you're clicking on the internet. It works with algorithms. So
everybody in Oklahoma is buying boner pills and non-hormonal birth control, which is weird because I didn't think they knew what birth control. Oh no, that's Arkansas. Oklahoma might know what birth control is, but
that's just weird because chances are, if you need boner pills, right, you're of a certain age, and if you're taking birth control, you're of a certain age. So are there that many older men banging young women?
Not
It is
old, not
Oklahoma.
young women, but like there's a lot of old people here, man. Like
Yeah.
most young people in this state move away or they move to the cities when they get of age. So like when you're out in the kind of country where I live, like yeah, there's a lot of old people out here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch it on Tubi, which I have Tubi. That's how I watched Turbo Kid. I watched it on the free IMDb on Amazon. One of the free channels is IMDb, and it has commercials too. But I didn't get fun commercials like y'all. I got like Velveeta and Cheez-Its.
IMDb's free for you?
It's their free service with ads. I think you can pay, but it's through Amazon. It's through Amazon.
Yeah.
And like,
I can only get it if you pay, though. I don't get it for free. Yeah.
You know, that's the trade-off for free healthcare, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, you're there in French Canada where they put French flags in turds.
And eat gravy on fries, which actually gravy on fries with cheese sounds so good. Yeah, I was gonna say, because me and Dakota were talking. I made a joke the other day from Pulp Fiction where he's like, you know what they put on French fries in Holland? Mayonnaise. And Dakota's like, that's disgusting. And I was like, well, the Canadians.
Not Miracle Whip. I'll correct you. Not Miracle Whip. Mayonnaise. There's a big difference between salad dressing and fucking real mayo, man.
That's
fucking Miracle Whip is fucking the devil's jizz, man. That stuff is nasty.
We love
you know
it.
what they call Hunger Games in France, Goose?
No, what?
Battle Royale with cheese.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. We need to do Battle Royale for sure on one of these Buzz Bites, but we keep on getting off topic, and I think it goes perfectly aligned with this movie, which is just an off-topic fucking movie the whole way. What did y'all think about the Deer Man scenes? I know, Johnny, you brought up the Little Monsters doll from when he meets his younger self.
When I was a little kid, I wanted a My Pet Monster so bad, and I have not seen one of those in decades, like not since like 1988. So when like there was one just shows up in this film all pristine and perfect, I was just like, whoa, dude, I haven't even thought of that shit in forever. It was so cool to see like, the My Pet Monster pop up. I was like, that's a random 80s thing that I've never seen anybody else pull out.
I didn't get the reference, and then you said something, and I had to like look it up, and I was like, I guess it was, but you know,
they even had a cartoon for it, didn't they?
Yeah, cartoon. There was a live action film for it too. It was pretty popping for a good 4 or 5 years.
Live action film.
For My Pet
Not
Monster.
with Fred Savage. That wasn't the one with Fred Savage.
No, Fred Savage was Little Monsters with him and Howie Mandel.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's not the one. Okay.
Yeah, they have the Vladimir Putin fries up there that they like so much.
But you know, that's about the time that things start to try and come together for this film, I guess, because you know it's this is shortly after Carl lays him down in the tub and like covers him up. And then that's really to me because you know you see the Deer Man and he has that weird scene where he's like cut his wife's neck open with the turkey cutter, the power knife. But like those parts of the movie where he finally comes to, and they're in the Houston Astros ballpark bathroom, and like Carl has scribbled out these little words, and he's misspelled like subconscious, and he's got ego on there, and then like you look, and he's got the tape held down for like the subconscious, and he's been pissing, and he's literally been pissing in his subconscious, and then the movie takes an even stranger turn when Dave Stemple decides to take his mind back from Carl, who has been fucking with his head the entire movie. And I love it because he just drags his fucking body out of the bathroom after he sticks a needle in him. And you find out he's been doing this for fucking months, just videotaping it.
Yeah, which leads to one of my other favorite encounters with the dude that wanted his bike back, or his little girl's
sister's bike back. Yeah.
That was just so good. You even know what this freak's up to? He runs around shitting on people's yards and stuff, man. Give me the bike back. She's a little kid. I was just like, like I said, there were like small, really brilliant moments. I mean, it's a good movie to watch, anyways. Like you said, like definitely, if you like weird, surreal things, like they really knocked it out of the ballpark. And if you watch it all the way through to the end, and you watch the credits, they kind of explain the story of how the film got made. And basically, I guess they were at a film festival, and some dude, some coked up filmmakers, they say, told them that they can't make a movie in their spare time with no money. And they were just like, "Oh yeah, well check this out." And they did a good job. I'm not gonna lie, it's competently edited. It's actually very well edited. The glitch scenes are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the fucking glitch scenes in it. I remember the first time I watched it, I think I was frustrated because we had shitty Wi-Fi and I thought the Wi-Fi was just fucking up, and then I backtracked and saw that it was actually the fucking movie.
Yeah.
So they did so well with it. And like I said, it's not for everyone, but it's something that I'm glad you guys got to watch, because it's one that like me and Dakota couldn't find the name of it for the longest fucking time. Like we watched it one night and it was like 2 a.m. when we watched it. And then for like 6 months, we couldn't remember the name of the fucking movie. And it didn't show up in my recently watched on Amazon or any of that shit. And then just one day we broke down. This was like a year ago. We broke down and like searched the depths of Amazon until we found it. And it was like nestled away in a corner on Amazon somewhere. And we watched it again. And it was just as mind-bending as it was the first time. It's
For a while, part of the
yeah. Oh God. Okay. She's talking in the background again. She said for a while we just thought it was a part of the Baja Blast thing. Me and Dakota once found this video, and we don't know if it was on YouTube or Twitter or what, but it's this guy and he's holding a Baja Blast and he goes, Baja Blast, Baja Blast. And like that's the whole fucking video. And I know how dumb that sounds. We've not been able to find it since. And I actually made the mistake of figuring I could put an umlaut above the A for Baja Blast, and you don't want to search that because you get German scat and piss porn. So enjoy if you're looking for that.
Maybe that's what the point of that video was he was subconsciously trying to lead people towards the what Joe accused me of being into last night type of movies.
Were y'all talking about scat and piss porn last night? Did I miss out?
What my guilty pleasure was Human Centipede 2, so yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. There's a blast in there, but we still can't find that video. And we thought for the longest time that we had just imagined watching this whole fucking movie, and that we just like both had a shared hallucinogenic experience where we thought, and we weren't even on hallucinogens. We just thought we just made it up in our goddamn minds until we found it like a year later, and we watched it again, and we were like, no, it's real, and it's still just as weird as the first time we watched it. And that's the simple stimple guarantee.
Well,
yeah,
I'm happy you recommended it. Like, it's definitely worth the watch. It definitely set up a weird episode because, yeah, like me and Joe, we had no idea where to go with this. So we're happy that you had a lot to say about it, which we were hoping for. So,
well, I was worried at first because, like, because y'all were like, "All right, Goose, you pick the topics for next week," and I was like, "Finally, we're watching the mattress film," and then like. I didn't hear much from y'all this week about it, and I was like, oh, and I think even yesterday or the day before, I was like, guys, we could switch it up. We can talk about funny games, or we can do Battle Royale or whatever if y'all don't want to cover this. And I'm glad we got to talk about it. And I'm glad y'all watched it. Like I said, it's one of those movies you'd pass by and probably never think twice about. And so I'm glad we're getting to bring it to a larger audience.
It's funny you call it the mattress film, because the only time I really got to see a lot of mattresses in this movie were during the fucking commercial breaks, where they showed me fucking orthopedic mattress commercials every commercial break while watching this.
so it goes on a deeper level than that, right? So the character that his dad is supposed to be, the original Dave Stipple Sr., is kind of a mockery of this guy from Houston called Mattress Mac. And Mattress Mac is known all throughout. I think he passed away last year. Maybe not. I'll have to look into it. But Mattress Mac owns all these, like, he started off with one mattress store in the 70s, and he owns all these mattress stores in Houston now. And he like donates half of the proceeds, or like half of his like net profit, to like charities and stuff. And he's always like helping people out and doing all kinds of stuff. Like he's a hometown hero in Houston. And so like it kind of makes fun of him a little bit because he does all these crazy commercials in Houston, and like everybody knows who Mattress Mac is, and so like it kind of played off of that, which I thought was another like fun level of it, especially if you don't know anything about Houston, you wouldn't catch it. But anybody from Houston would be like, oh my God, they're making fun of the Mattress Mac commercials, which you might get stabbed if you make fun of Mattress Mac down there. But it's Houston, you might get stabbed anyway. Like it's a coin toss. It's like playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the gun. And that's Houston.
Well, as long as you don't just jump, like don't duck if you're getting shot at, because like you said, they were able to shoot Bushwick Bill. So yeah, don't crouch if you're getting shot at. Try to jump. Yeah, Serpentine. There you go. You're quoting In-Laws, man. Right on. Good film.
I love Pauly Shore, man, and I don't. You know what? That's my guilty pleasure. Every Pauly Shore film. In the Army Now, fucking Biodome, goddamn In-Laws. Speaking of.
You need to do a watch party with Fred, man.
Yeah, what's your favorite though? Then?
Oh man, I hate Andy Dick, but it's probably In the Army Now. Like Biodome's the better film, and In-Laws is great. And wasn't he in? What's the one with Brandon Fraser? Is that Encino Man?
Encino Man, yeah, that's my favorite.
I love Encino Man, but I just remember having a bootleg VHS copy of In the Army Now that me and my cousin Chase like wore the fuck out. We would laugh at that movie so fucking much, and it's because it's just stupid. It's almost like the Ernest films, which those aren't a guilty pleasure. I just fucking love Ernest P. Worrell.
I like the first couple. I liked Ernest Goes to Camp especially. That's a really good movie, man. It's a really funny film. So
wasn't Pauly Shore in Biodome as well?
Yeah, yes. Biodome's a classic. It got a great soundtrack too. Lots of nice pop.
Who's he with in that movie?
Rose McGowan.
No,
okay.
Not
Rose McGowan wasn't up in there. It was what's her name? Joey Lauren Adams, the squeaky blonde girl with the.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
From
her best role was in Mallrats.
Okay. The dude that was hanging out with them was what's his name? Stephen Baldwin, the youngest Baldwin brother.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
My least favorite of the Baldwins.
Let's get that Mother Faulkner. Yeah, dude. Like with William Atherton as the bad guy. Like I loved William Atherton. You would know him mostly as Walter Peck from Ghostbusters, but he was also the reporter in the first Die Hard. He was the bad guy in Real Genius. Like he was just the perfect asshole, man. He was
another Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I love Val Kilmer, man.
Val Kilmer's best movie, man. Like he had his best lines. I still tell my friend Tony that I'm gonna name my first kid after him, Dipshit Haney. It's got a certain ring to it.
What was the movie? What was the movie where he played the spy?
The Saint, or are you talking about the funny movie?
The funny one.
What is that called? Top Secret.
Top Secret. Oh yeah, dude. Top Secret's such a fucking classic. I love it. My dad.
Yeah, the Skeet surfing song at the beginning, man.
Is that the one where they filmed the scene backwards?
Yeah, we thrown the books up onto the shelves.
Yeah. I've heard about. Yeah, they shot it all backwards, and then anyway, yeah.
I don't speak a word of German. Oh, I know a little German. He's sitting over there. Yeah, it's terrible. If you like bad puns, it's the perfect film.
Well, I did say I love the Joel Schumacher fucking Mr. Freeze. But, and speaking of, I just saw something the other day. He's going to be, I want to say he's reprising his role as Iceman in the new Top Gun movie, which, I'm all cool with that. I know who cares, but, he can't speak anymore. So they're going to digitally, they found a way to, oh yeah, Joe, if you didn't know, he had like, I want to say it was throat cancer or something, and like, he can't talk anymore, and which is really sad. But they're digitally like remastering his voice, kind of like they did with Paul Walker in that Fast 7 movie, but they're doing it with his voice. And so he's going to have it. Zod's here. Hey, Zod, how are you?
The one that I'm really excited for is that he's going to be coming back as Mad Mardigan in Willow Part 2, which they're finally doing. So that's what I'm kind of really excited to see Val popping back up in.
Is Warwick Davis still alive?
Yeah, like he's actually pretty long living for one of them little fellas. So yeah. And yeah, I can't wait to see them team back up. I love Willow, and that was the big deal. Like, what's his name? He got when he did that crappy Han Solo movie. It was if he did that, he finally got to make Willow Part 2, and Disney finally is honoring their debt, and like, yeah, Willow 2's coming, and Val's going to be Mad Mardigan again. I don't know how much he's going to be in the film. I bet you the daughter is going to be the main focus of Laura Donnan, or however you say her name.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for that. We're getting a lot of good sequels. I like how was the Han Solo movie that bad, Johnny, or have you just been spending too much time with Matt?
I never saw it. I just know that everybody
It's okay.
hated it.
Everybody hates it. It isn't half as bad as what everyone says.
I never wanted a Han Solo prequel, to tell you the truth. I thought it was a movie that you do when you're out of ideas, not when you're trying to relaunch the universe. So I just was never excited for it to begin with. And
Harrison Ford's doing another Indiana Jones movie, I think.
yeah, he doesn't hate Indiana Jones like he hates Han Solo, though. Like, he hated being Han Solo. He begged them to kill him. He wanted to die in the original trilogy.
Kill me, please.
I don't know why he hated the character so much, but yeah, he really wanted to just die off as Han Solo, like almost the entire time he played it, which is funny.
Because they switched it up and let Greedo shoot first.
No, he wanted them to kill him off before then, man. Like,
yeah. You can't find the original anymore ever. Like, I even bought the Blu-rays hoping that they're gonna have the original unedited.
Go on the site I offer. You can get the actual Blu-ray edited versions, or Blu-ray quality edited versions of the original ones. They're just not legal per se.
Oh, well, that's fine, because I don't need goddamn dewbacks in the background of my fucking Star Wars movie. Sorry, if you
want to get a hold of those, yeah, go on the website. It's basically the bootleg eBay, and yeah, you can get the old school Star Wars is done in a high quality or high definition on disc there on that site.
That's very good to know. I almost got into buying some bootleg records from this store in Germany. It's like they made all kinds of records for stuff that didn't, like mixtapes from the early 2000s and the late. Oh, Joe, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying hi to your mom.
Oh, your mom's here.
Oh shit, my mom.
That wasn't even a joke. What would have me interested is if it was Germans doing bootleg versions of like popular songs, but it wasn't like the actual bands. It was like German people like badly recording them. It's like, this is us doing EC. Okay, here we go.
Well, they had one that I really wanted, which they finally released it after the rights got picked up or whatever. But there's this guy named Chance the Rapper, and he made one of my favorite rap albums in 2012. It was called Acid Rap, and it's really, really good. But it was only available online. And so like they didn't have any physical copies of it at all. And so there was a company in Germany that was bootlegging copies of it, but on like a purple and pink. Joe, kind of like the sky you sent us earlier. That was the color of the records. And dude, I wanted it so bad, but they wanted $90 for it. And like, I love it, dude. But I waited and waited and waited, and now they're selling them for like $30 legally. But I just haven't bought it yet because I'm a piece of shit. How is that glow in the dark Turbo Kid soundtrack though, dude? Did it play well?
I was too busy. I haven't even had a chance to put it on the table yet.
He was remixing it last night. He had his turntables going. He was like, just
right.
Just mixing that.
I would cry.
You got those audio techniques, fucking 1200s, just scratching it up, direct drive, switching back and forth between it and Ray Charles. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But no,
you got any last words you want to say about nothing really happened before we get too off topic, Goosey? Just
man, like I said, it's one. I don't think everybody's gonna like it, but I do think everybody should experience it at least once. It's stuck in my mind for at least 2 years now, and it's one of those movies, like I said, that just kind of grabs you, and what's Cheech say? Kind of grabs you by the boo boo, doesn't it? And it's I don't know, man. Like I said, it's one of my favorites, and like I think y'all had never seen it, and we like a lot of the same stuff, but y'all definitely get to see my weirdness in the topics of movies that I choose.
Well, the weird thing about it was when you were in the chat and you're like, "Let's talk about this fucked up movie," and I'm like, it's weird. It's definitely quirky, but like, I if you want to watch some fucked up movies, I can recommend a couple, but I don't want to. But
we're not watching
this one. That
We're not watching a Serbian film.
Oh, don't mention it. I didn't even bring it up last night. Don't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Is that a guilty
man.
pleasure?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Definitely not. No.
Thank God. Good, because I was gonna get really worried about you. But yeah, no, it's not a 10 out of 10. It's like a 6 out of 10. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's a cup of piss, and the glass is almost certainly half full, and you're thirsty. Got to drink it up, man.
Since we're throwing out ratings like Goose just did, I'm gonna do a weird one. For a movie that you'll find randomly on Tubi and watch and have a good time with, I'll definitely call it an 8 out of 10. But in regular standards, yeah, I'd say it's a 6 out of 10. I mean, like, I appreciate that they were able to make something so competent with no really they're not filmmakers, you know what I mean? They were just hobbyists having a good time, and the acting's really good. Like, there's some great lines in it. It's a lot better movie than it has any right to be. So good for them for that, at least. Joey, you got a rating for it?
Maybe 5 on 10.
That way.
Hey, yeah, I like all the scenes with the neighbor. I thought all those scenes were great. Like, it's
You have to start
They
paying
just
it.
were just
they're
all
all-
stuck together and crusty and
yeah, like he's always in his fucking house coat, and like
he reminded me
know.
of the heroin dealer from Pulp Fiction. I kept waiting for
yeah,
him to
like
have to-
all the scenes with the neighbor are great. I love all those.
And then he
scenes.
gets his ass beat. What do you
Yeah,
think?
he
His wife
does.
is cheating on him.
What do you mean? It's not your sister?
Yeah. Well, are you fucking her though?
Anyway.
Yeah, so, but I didn't know
I
she was
didn't
your
enjoy
wife.
it.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all the scenes with the neighbor are great. I love all the scenes with the neighbor. The
It's a good
scenes with the
way-
neighbor are 9 on 10. So
It's a good way to waste an hour and 45 minutes if you need to. I'm glad you guys at least enjoyed it, because I was so worried y'all were just gonna be like, all right, we're kicking Goose out.
Well, you'll have to do way worse than this, dude. Like, you'll have to do like this, like I said, this is a really charming, really interesting film. You know what I mean? You're definitely not going to see too many things like it. I mean, there is one film that I know that is similar, but it's a bit more exciting. A lot more happens to it because they have more budget. But it's a Canadian film by a director called Quentin Dupieux. It's called Wrong. It's a really, really funny, really cool film, but it's really esoteric and insane. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like a guy that's just kind of having weird shit happen in his life. Like he gets his dog kidnapped by this crazy guy called Professor Chang, who's trying to teach him that he should love his pet more, and it just goes from there. So, like, if you find anything we talked about this movie interesting, definitely check out Wrong. Like that's a good one.
I'll have to check that out because that actually sounds super, super nice. I like that.
Oh, you'll like it. Like, if you like this film, you'll love Wrong, dude. Like, it's right there with it. You'll like the other movie the guy did too, called Rubber. It's about like this tire that yeah, where he falls in love with the hot French model, and like he's got the telekinetic powers. Yeah, it's a good movie.
So that's a weird one, man. The next,
Yeah, but look at what we're talking about. Yeah, of course I'm
at least I didn't make y'all watch Primer.
I love that film. Yeah, but like that one would be so hard to talk about because it's all they do is talk technical jargon the entire film. You know what I mean? So
the guy who filmed that graduated from my alma mater that I didn't graduate from.
What's that mean? Alma mater? I know what it means. I'm being a sport.
SFASU, baby.
What? Dude, don't
Stephen F. Austin State University, baby. Everybody knows Stephen F. Austin. He was at the Alamo.
I know Sloan Kettleman and Johnny Hopkins. We used to blaze it before school, but was that in Step Brothers? I know Johnny Hopkins. All right, me and him and Sloan Kettering used to blaze.
We would blaze that shit all day.
I know Johnny Hopkins. All right.
When people make that reference, and I think you're gonna make me sit here and eat dessert all alone, like I'm fucking Stephen Glansberry. Good old super bad reference, baby.
You got any weird ass movies you want to throw in the mix there, Joey? There's no weird.
I can't. None come up. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
They definitely make weird movies in Canada. I can tell you that. I just don't know any off the top of my head, right? Hobo with the shotgun. Yeah, that fits with this kind of.
Yeah, I guess, but
I'm talking about
that's
Hobo
more
with
of like a shock gore action type thing.
Look at Goose has got a panda bear.
This is Richard.
He's a cute little tuxedo. His name's
He loves-
Richard.
yeah, his name's Richard. He loves belly rubs.
Oh, look at the buddy. Right
So
on.
fat. I love him.
Reminds me of one of my buddies, Lucia. She passed not too long ago, but yeah, she was a mean little tuxedo.
We call him Richard, but Dick for shorthand.
Oh, I just
Fat
watched.
bastard.
I'm really excited for a really weird looking movie that's coming out tomorrow. I thought it came out today because the all the reviews and stuff, but it's called Prisoners of the Ghostlands. It is a Sion Sono film, one of my favorite Japanese directors. It's starring Nicolas Cage and what's her name, Sophia, the chick from Kingsman with the stabby feet, the really hot one. She's up in there with him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
That poster is fucking kick ass, though.
Yeah.
What a beautiful poster, man.
Yeah, I got the
Oh.
DVD and the poster coming in the mail. Like that's one for the wall. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that poster is amazing.
I think we kind of summed up this weird ass film tonight. I'm glad y'all at least got a little bit of enjoyment out of it.
I never thought about like a mattress store selling mattresses with bed bugs. That was actually kind of the most scary thing about the film is like I don't know. I've never had bed bugs, but they seem terrifying. They have knife dicks, and anything that has a knife dick is
Bears.
not something I want to truck with in my lifetime.
Man.
Yeah, dude. Like it depending on how much it is, I wouldn't say pay anything over $13 for it. But if it's like,
are there even physical copies?
Dollar rental.
Well, there has to be like in some context a physical copy of it.
They probably sell it on Laserdisc or Betamax.
I would totally have a VHS of this if they had it. It would be the perfect format to watch the weird ass thing on.
With auto tracking turned off, baby.
Oh hell no! Yeah, dude. No, I have like a straight up old school VCR where with the tracking knobs. I was a wizard at tracking back in the day, man.
Yeah. You got to get it just right. We've got a 20-inch Zenith that's got the fucking combo, and I used it to play N64 on.
But yeah, man, nothing really happens, and I wouldn't say that that's true, man. There's a lot of stuff that does happen in the film. It's just not particularly the most exciting thing you'll see, but it surpasses its name as a film, definitely, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just not by too much. But yeah, this is a pretty good episode. It was really good to have Goosey back. Goose, what are we doing on Friday? It was your pick again. So you want to go ahead and do the announcement for that?
Fuck yeah, I do. And I'm so excited about it, especially because I love all these books. We are doing our TKO publisher fucking blowout, and I am fucking super stoked. Mostly because I didn't have to buy any of the books because I have them already. And secondly, like, we've got so many good books to talk about, and I've got so much to say. Like, and I know that's not out of the ordinary, but I'm excited to be back with you boys doing some fun shit. I had so much fun tonight, and we're going to have a blast Friday, especially because I think I've got the Wi-Fi situation sorted out. And
really good audio tonight, that's for sure. You didn't have none of the StreamYard wasn't getting all robotic. You didn't sound like a Weekend song like you were the past couple weeks.
My Batcave gets shitty cell service, and I'm using my phone as a hotspot, but in the living room, I get baller ass service, baby. So we're going no fucking glitches. We're doing this big time now. I just got to get a computer.
Aim for the moon, man, and stick that landing like Elon. But yeah, man, this was a really fun episode of Pink Buzz Bites. We were talking about Nothing Really Happens. It is available for free on Tubi. I think you can rent it on YouTube, but I think they want $3.99 for it. Just watch it on Tubi and sit through the non-hormonal birth control ads. It adds to the oddness of the film for me. So yeah, check it out. Yeah. Well, because it starts, the girl's sitting there on the couch and she's just like, "Welcome to my vagina," and I'm just like, "Okay, man." Like any other movie I'm watching, like I'd be like, "What the?" But like I was the first time it happened, I actually thought it was part of the damn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes, yeah, those commercials you're not sure, and especially mine, it was mattress commercials that came up. So I was like, "What the fuck?"
Cheez Its and Velveeta for me, baby, because I'm always Googling cheese, I
You're a
guess.
cheesy bastard, man. But yeah, I am all-star quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, and also play quarterback for the Habs up there in Canada when I was a hockey player. Joe Montana, and yeah, this is a really fun episode of Buzz Bites, product of graphic vandalism. That means don't stop reading, don't stop watching weird esoteric films, and don't stop supporting that awesome music. Until next time, which will be Friday, where we'll be talking about TKO Studio. Keep it sleazy. Laters.